You're still recording.
Awesome. Alright, it's 5:37 in the morning. Let's see. Our spark plug wires are nice and neatly tucked away so they're not going to be touching those headers. We got this one wrapped around to a P-clamp, as well as our front engine harness tucked under the tube front, going into this nice little spot. And then our engine harness tucks in nicely there. We come around to the front. Oil cooler's nice and mounted. And if I back up, I lowered the car a bit, so hopefully it doesn't look like such a dang monster truck. Definitely added a couple degrees of camber lowering this thing. And if we come around to this side, you can see the Holley EFI harness all mounted. Now, we still need to like tuck this a little bit right here. Probably one of the last steps. But Granatelli Motorsports hooked us up with some extra long spark plug wires to be able to route our coil pack relocation kit from Michigan Motorsports in the back here to be symmetrical with that side. Before, we were not able to do that. We had to put it over in the front because our spark plug wires were not long enough. We got everything zip tied and tucked away as much as possible so that it's not actually making contact with the headers between any of them. This one was the most difficult. These sticky manufacturing headers, not my favorite at all. I've burned through 16 spark plug wires in that back right corner. I just have to keep replacing them because I've never been able to find a spark plug wire that works. And here, I'll show you. Granatelli gave us these little nubby 90s, which actually work really well. So if any of you are having really difficult problems with your headers, try and get one of these. We managed to get that down in there nicely. It's not touching either of these headers now. And we've got this zip tied up and away. Over here, it looks like a little bit of a mess, but believe it or not, this is the best wiring management we could really do with the lengths we were given for now. Yeah, pretty happy with the engine harness situation. If we come over into the interior, we've got these beautiful race spec wires between our negative power cable and our positive power cable. We've got everything routed neatly. We've got P-clamps on the main harness and then zip ties for everything following. This little train that goes toward the back. Looping over, we got the Terminator X Max mounted in the center. As you can see, we laid down some fresh black paint in here. Gives us a nice little contrast. Tanner's holding the switch panel that's about to go in. You want to throw that in right now?
Absolutely.
Switch panel is going in. Thing is quite the specimen. So that sits right on top of our custom brackets. The dash is gonna go over. With the switch panel in, stuff is starting to look really spicy in here. But yes, everything's tucked nicely behind this carbon dash. We were not able to get the 12-inch dash to fit on our carbon fiber dashboard. So the digital dash, we are gonna build a custom bracket for it to actually sit at like a 45-degree angle facing me. I'm gonna have to be able to look at things in my peripheral vision. Yeah, that's what we're gonna mount for now. All right, Tanner, what are we doing now?
Power windows. If you want to see.
Yeah, I want to see. Let's see those turn signals. You guys seen an E36 with functioning turn signals? I was about to say neither have I. All right, that's the rear. Yeah, let's take a look up in the front. Got a customer's F30 in the shop for some lowering springs. I like that red bar in the front. Look at that. Turn signals are working. The aux beam switch panel, pretty cool. I can actually control the pace for these turn signals. You want to turn on the headlights? Okay, that's our low beam headlights. You can see our LED bar under the intake, high beams, and engine lights. Check that out. During the day, it doesn't look all that great seeing all those individual LEDs, but I bet you at night this is gonna light up really nicely, and it's gonna be really nice to have some service lights on the car. If we need to, you know, we're at an event, we wanna work on the car late at night, it's dark, and we gotta scramble to find a headlamp or use our iPhone flashlight. Instead, we just flip these on and we start getting to work. You can turn off the headlights. Boy, it looks good though. You can see we've got a really nice alternator wire down there from Pro Wire USA. It's gonna runs all alongside next to this long Granatelli Motorsports custom spark plug wire. Goes to the Michigan Motorsports coil pack relocation kit. You can see our alternator wire loomed up nicely going into this cable gland. Drilled a nice big hole for that to fit. There's a threaded nut on the other side that tightens this and keeps this so you can't really move it forward or back. But yeah, everything's all routed pretty nicely, just away from heat. We used to have clutch lines, brake lines, all routed through here. I took all those. I took a double flare kit and rerouted the brake lines and clutch lines under in a safer spot. And then inside the car, yeah, check that switch panel out. We've got our like plastic guards over our power blocks, making sure there's no happy accidents.
No happy accident.
Big thanks to Holly for making such a cool product. It's really saves us a lot of time on troubleshooting when you can just pinpoint an issue immediately without even having to look at your digital dash. Tanner?
Yeah?
What time is it?
I think it's almost 11, probably like 30 minutes to.
Yeah, this was like...
We've been in here since...
We've been here since 4 p.m.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
Yesterday. This was like our last... Tanner has a lot of things to do at Microsoft that are gonna take time away from being able to do this anymore. So this is like our last home stretch to get this thing ready to go to California. As you guys have seen, we have this incredibly beautifully wired car now. All incredible, nice wiring components and wired by the genius himself, Tanner over here. So where can we learn more about TW Wired?
Right now, the best place is just to hop on Instagram and see our work that we're going to start showcasing here soon.
All right, so you heard the man. Follow this guy on Instagram, at TW Wired.
We don't even need to be there now. We can just wire it remote based off measurements, everything. So something like a panel like this can be done from remote measurements. An engine harness can be done from remote measurements. I don't even need to be there, but if you live in the Seattle area and a little outside that, we'd be more than happy to make a house call.
I am so fucking tired. Like, comment, tell us what you're working on and what you need to have wired. I'm getting a customer call. Anyway. Subscribe.
To accept, press 1. To send
Zwing HQ, how can I help you?
Zach.
This is him?
Hey, Zach. My name is Matt Roll. My buddy Chuck Baker referred me to you, but I was wondering if you'd help.